first, let me ask the Holy Spirit to give me the wisdom to tell you folks what I should tell you. The main thing I wanted to tell you was that God created everything. He created all these basket materials. And we have to pick them and polish them up, scrape them, and so they are workable, so we can use them. And we have to collect them, and we got to store them away, and we can take them out whenever we use, and we need to use them. That's when we soak them. These dry willows or ferns or whatever they are, bark of the trees, and even leaves. They color the fibers of the willow root, so they will look different. Always thank the Lord for what you get. It makes God happy. It really does. It makes you happy too. It makes you feel good because God blesses you. Grass. What is it?
Bear grass.
Bear grass, yeah. They use that a lot. And the black maidenhair fern.
That's what we collected yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And the root, the willow root is what you dye with alder bark. It's kind of a yellowish tan. You know, some of these, for instance, the deerskin dance. They used to have deerskin dance in Cutting a long time ago. They had it at a regular time. And then they quit. They didn't have any for years and years. And just not too very long ago, that's when they started to have a deerskin dance again. And brush dance too, like these legends that they would deteriorate everything, you know. The thing is what they used to do, and they just don't do it anymore.
And that's
for instance, they're speaking their own language. They follow the English.
They follow the English term for speaking the language?
They speak English. Instead of talking their own, their language too, besides English.
So our language, not only does the materials and the dances and the regalia making, but the language has to be taught also back to the children for the spiritual purposes. Talk to the Creator in their own way.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Fanny, were you raised with your own language when you were young?
Yes.
How was it when you were a little girl? How was it to be an Indian?
Well, I just don't remember, but my grandmother spoke only English, only Indian language, and so I must have spoke only Indian. But when I went to school, I suppose I didn't speak English, or I just don't remember. But other kids remember that when they went to school, they didn't understand English. Mm-hmm. So I must have been that way too.
How was it when you were a little girl to live out here? I've been out in the valley most of my life,
I was born out in the valley, and then my parents moved back to Orleans. And then when I was 3 years old, my mother died. And then my grandparents came after me. And
Were you happy to move back down to the river when you was a little girl? Or?
I don't know. I was too young to remember. I was 3 years old when my mother died.
Did they have any ceremonies during the time when you were young?
Oh yes, I remember. That's one thing. I could just barely remember that it was in Orleans. They were crossing the river in a boat, and I could just picture myself standing in the boat, and my father picked me up to take me out of the boat, and that's all I remember about. I don't remember anything about the ceremony.